Apple hasn't even hinted at the iPhone 18 series yet, but the hype cycle is already in full swing because a new leak is claiming to reveal the iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max prices in India months before the expected launch. And if these early numbers are even close to accurate, Apple's next flagship iPhone could be heading into an even higher premium bracket in 2026. So let's break down what's being claimed, what it could mean for buyers in India, and why you should treat this as a wait and verify situation, because right now, nothing is official. First, the timing. Apple typically unveils its new iPhones in September, usually in the first or second week, and early reports are pointing to the iPhone 18 Pro launch date landing in early September 2026. That fits Apple's normal rhythm almost perfectly. So while we don't have an event invite or any confirmation from Apple, the September 2026 window is a reasonable expectation based on history. Now the headline, the iPhone 18 Pro price leak. According to the report making rounds online, the iPhone 18 Pro could start at around Rs 1,034,900 in India, and the iPhone 18 Pro Max price in India could reportedly start at Rs 1,54,900. If you're hearing those numbers and thinking, that feels high, you're not wrong. Because at that point, the Pro Max is firmly stepping into luxury phone territory. But before anyone panics, remember, early price leaks are often estimates, placeholders, or based on assumptions about currency, taxes, and positioning. Apple can and does adjust pricing depending on production costs, exchange rates, and the competitive landscape closer to launch. Still, even as a rumor, it's worth paying attention to because price leaks tend to influence buyer decisions early. People delay upgrades. Some users decide to grab the current Pro models on sale. Others start budgeting months in advance. And in India specifically, pricing plays a huge role because Apple's base prices can shift noticeably depending on duties, local assembly plans, and how aggressively Apple wants to push volume. Now let's talk about what the iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max specifications are rumored to include, because pricing only makes sense if Apple delivers meaningful upgrades. One of the biggest rumored changes is the chipset. Leaks are pointing to Apple's next Pro chip being called the A20 Pro, and while the naming isn't confirmed, the direction is believable. Apple typically reserves the newest, most powerful silicon for the Pro models. If the iPhone 18 Pro series truly gets the A20 Pro chipset, you can expect the usual Apple advantages: faster performance, better efficiency, and a big focus on AI-driven features, imaging, and on-device processing. In 2026, performance isn't just about app launch speed anymore. It's about how well the phone handles computational photography, real-time video effects, smarter Siri-style features, offline AI tasks, and battery efficiency while doing all of that in the background. So if Apple's A20 Pro is designed with those priorities, the iPhone 18 Pro could feel like a more noticeable jump than a typical year-to-year upgrade. Next, memory and storage. The leak claims Apple may move the iPhone 18 Pro series to 12 GB of RAM. That's a big deal for iPhones because Apple has historically used less RAM than many Android flagships while still maintaining smooth performance, thanks to tight software optimization. But if Apple is increasing RAM, it could suggest heavier multitasking, more advanced AI features, and more professional workflows being pushed directly onto the iPhone. For storage, the report suggests options could go as high as 1 TB again, which is aimed squarely at creators. People shooting ProRes video, capturing massive photo libraries, downloading offline content, and running large apps. If Apple keeps improving video capabilities, 1 TB becomes less of a luxury and more of a practical option for power users. Now let's get into display rumors because the iPhone Pro lineup lives and dies by its screen experience. The leak points to 120Hz refresh rate, which is basically expected at this point for any true flagship. But the more attention-grabbing claim is peak brightness of up to 3000 nits. If that number is accurate, it would be a huge win for outdoor visibility, especially in harsh sunlight, which is a real everyday issue for users in many parts of India. Higher brightness also improves HDR video playback and can make photos and content feel more premium. That said, peak brightness figures in leaks can be tricky because companies often quote different measurement standards, full screen brightness versus small HDR highlights. So this is one of those specs we'll need to see confirmed in real-world testing. For display sizes, the iPhone 18 Pro is rumored to feature a 6.3-inch OLED display, while the iPhone 18 Pro Max could come with a 6.9-inch OLED display. That's important because Apple's sizing decisions usually signal how it sees the market. A 6.9-inch Pro Max would be a clear message. Apple is doubling down on the phone as your main screen lifestyle. Video, editing, gaming, productivity, and all-day battery expectations. Now let's talk camera, because Pro iPhones are judged heavily on photography and video. The leak suggests the iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max may include a 48-megapixel rear camera and a 12-megapixel front camera. On paper, those numbers sound familiar, because Apple has already been working with 48-megapixel in recent generations. Which means the real story, if this leak is true, may not be megapixels at all. The real upgrades would likely come from sensor improvements. Lens changes, better low-light processing, faster capture, smarter HDR, and new computational photography features powered by the A20 Pro. Apple doesn't need to crank megapixels every year to improve camera quality. It usually focuses on consistency, color science, dynamic range, and video reliability, the things creators actually notice. So where does that leave us? If these iPhone 18 Pro price leaks are accurate, Apple could be positioning the iPhone 18 Pro starting around Rs 130-4900 and the iPhone 18 Pro Max starting around Rs 150-4900 in India, while backing up that premium pricing with the A20 Pro chipset, 12GB RAM, up to 1TB storage, a 120Hz OLED display, extremely high brightness, large screen options, and a continued focus on pro-level cameras. But here's the key point. This is still a leak. Prices can change. Specs can change. Even the names can change. Apple could adjust the lineup, introduce different storage tiers, or shift pricing based on manufacturing strategy and market conditions closer to September 2026. So the real question is this. If Apple does push prices higher for the iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max, what would you need to see to justify it? Better battery life? A major camera upgrade? A new design? Faster charging? Or truly next-level AI features that actually feel useful every day? And if these prices are real, would you still buy the iPhone 18 Pro Max? Or would you step down to the standard Pro, or even skip a generation entirely?